checking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnop.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I've been hacking, sneezing, lots of stuff going on this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Tuesday. Show number 101. Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. Professional Door Incorporated text line. That's right. Hit the like button. Every effort helps. We got to get to 1,000. We got a lot going on today. We got Marva in Miami joining us coming up. Brian Seigla. We'll get an update on all of Tech's portal activity. That's Brian from the Boundary Corner. Got the coach, Todd Grantham. I was correct. He was traveling to Birmingham yesterday. Some meetings. Get the latest on Todd. And then Mike Burnop. Plus you. A lot going on. This part of the new song kind of feels like you're watching a mid to late 70s opening credits of a show. And they're showing like extra action scenes. Kind of what it feels like right there. Hang on here. We're setting up our, getting our text line ready today. But we are live. Broadcasting live here on this glorious Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing all right. Good morning to everybody. There we go. Oh, we don't want it to start again. Once it ends, it ends. Is breakfast a protein bar? Well, it can be, sure. Absolutely. Whatever you want it to be, whatever works. I know that there were a lot of times I tried not to eat breakfast. I realized you have to have a little something, as you get a little older, especially. Morning, Thunder. Good morning, Prometheus, TLB, Steven, everybody in chat. From a dilly Bud Light commercial at the Super Bowl to Kurt Signetti, who is too old to dilly-dally. Yeah, that's what we're told. Here in Palm Coast, we were handcuffing the NCAA board in the back alley. BDST. Live and online. Good morning, Boris. So Bud Light had one of the worst marketing campaigns in the history. It almost completely destroyed their brand, and now they try to come back with these Bud Light. It's just embarrassing. They sold out to the mob, and then they regretted it immediately. And now they're trying this. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. That's a good one. Morris, you always have a good one, but that one is that one's really, really good. That was funny. Yeah, the comings and goings in the portal are ridiculous. If you just look at what's happening, so many different reports about it. At this point, I just want to wait till the dust settles to see who all Franklin brought in and everything else, who's going to stay. All right, so let me put this out there to y'all because I don't know the answer. I woke up to a bunch of texts. Did Grunkmeyer decommit? Is he solid? Because I see that Tech's now involved with the North Carolina reserve quarterback. Does anybody know? I didn't have time to look it up. A little slow going this morning. So did Grunkmeyer, is he still committed? Did that become official, or was that something that was announced and then he backpedaled? Because I don't know why you'd pay both quarterbacks premium deals, and apparently the North Carolina quarterback is going to want a premium deal. That's interesting. It seems like, I don't know. We'll ask Todd about that. I know you need two quarterbacks, and I don't know what the money's going to be. I know the money that was thrown around for Grunkmeyer was around $2.5 million, is what I've heard. So I don't know what the Carolina quarterback would get. Okay, he is solid. Okay. I don't know if people saw something different in somewhere that was asking that question. I don't know. It's so tough to keep up with it all, and you don't know who's putting out truthful things or who's just putting stuff out there to be heard. I don't know. Hey, Opal, how are you? Good morning. Good to see you. Hokey rocks. Uh-oh. Grunk paperwork being finished, supposedly. Uh-oh. I've seen a lot of guys, not Tech guys, but I saw a lot of reports where guys had committed to places and then they ended up going, whoop, I got offered more money at X school. Guess where I'm going? It's crazy, man. This whole thing is just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out coming up. And hopefully we'll get some kind of statement pretty soon from, Virginia Tech on the staff at least. I would think at this point they would have announced the staff. A little strange that we haven't gotten anything official in that regard. I'm not talking about the portal because everybody's going to kind of keep that. But the staff itself, you would think that'd be something you would announce. And I did not find anything on JC taking a gig in the front office. Maybe I just missed it. We'll ask Todd. Todd was going to try to join us yesterday, but he couldn't get the thing to work. It was just going to be phone. Yeah. But anyway, FCS title game was great. I didn't stay up and watch it, but I watched the YouTube highlights. Montana State won in overtime on a late touchdown or something. Beautiful, fun game. People were talking about how well played it was. And the FCS has done the playoffs right for many, many years. And That was cool. I think it was Montana State and Illinois State. I think that's who it was last night. And I'm glad they had their own platform. That was cool. 35-34 in overtime. That was cool. That was cool. The most nervous people ever watching that extra point from Montana State. But that was fun. That was fun. So we'll see how it all plays out. I know there's a UConn cornerback I think is going to commit to Tech. And we'll see what positions they're able to handle. And it's just crazy when you have almost 5,000 players in the portal and everybody changing. I know people are trying to keep up, but it is bizarre, man. It is bizarre. I don't know how much time you have to assess either, you know. I wonder how much time you have. I don't understand how much time you have to assess how much film can you watch on somebody, and especially when you're putting together a new coaching staff like Tech has been doing. I mean, I wonder how much of this is just going on. That's why you see so many coaches go with guys they're familiar with, right? Because if you recruited them once, you're going to recruit them again. So it's bizarre. It's bizarre. Who went to UVA, Paul? Chambers? Who's that? Yeah, I'm not following it very closely until the aftermath of it. And then we'll see all these stupid rankings about, hey, who did well out of the portal, who didn't do well out of the portal. I would be more interested to see in the budget. Todd sent this last night. It was interesting. The New York Times put out their estimates here. Did you see this? So the quarterback position, I guess none of this is shocking. $1 million to $4 million on the average. Now, some guys have gotten $5 million. Tackle, $600K to $1.5 million. Running backs are getting from the average of $400,000 to $900,000. Wide receivers, anywhere between $500,000 and $1 million. This is just the average. Tight end, $300,000 to $900,000. This is all just sick, isn't it? Edge rushers, anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million. Interior linemen, $500,000 to $1.5 million. Corners, $250,000 to over $1 million. And safeties, $250,000 to over $900,000. And that about covers every position on the field. So what this tells you is, other than kickers and punters, you're spending no less than $250,000 on every player, minimum and up. This is where we've gotten. How about that? If these figures are accurate. That's just insanity to me. And it just makes me not care. It's hard. It's hard. $250,000 is the minimum for any position. It just takes it all away from me, man. It's just ridiculous what's going on. This is beyond insanity. This is the most unreal thing I think we've seen. It's unfolding in front of our eyes in sports since we've been fans. And I don't know if we have wrapped our arms around just how out of control this is. Seeing those figures, I mean, sometimes you think, oh, okay, yeah, we'll give you $50,000 to come here. No, you're paying at least $250 for any of these guys. What about guys you're bringing in for depth? What's the research on those guys? You paying guys six figures just to sit there throughout the season? No, TP, it's not sustainable. We'll talk to Todd about it. There's no way. Here's a guy who's embedded right into it. The quarterback for Texas Tech's making more money than Jackson Dart, the rookie quarterback for the Giants. Yeah, that's a great point, David. I don't know. Yeah, well, if Tech's bringing in two quarterbacks, they're going to be paying each of them $1 million at least. I know that Ruckmeyer got at least $2.5 million, and this North Carolina quarterback's in demand. If they get him, they're going to have to pay him 7 figures. Remember how we were all surprised to find out that their previous quarterback was making over $1 million? So yeah, it's just nuts, man. This is nuts. It's not sustainable. It's just not. But fans will not go away. They will not go away. There will be people. I will hear from people showing me the rankings that people put together. Oh, Tech did great. Look at this. Wow. How excited are we? I just think at some point people have to just kind of address this themselves, because this isn't like, I mean, yeah, and tickets and merchandise. And when you're buying NFL Sunday ticket, you're helping pay for salaries. But here directly now, if you are contributing to your school, you are contributing directly to this nonsense. Right? True, TP, but I think we're talking about it trying to bring some sense into it because it's disgusting. Like, we're not talking about it. The talking about it that bothers me when people are just trying to look at this like it's no big deal. Like when you see on X, fans are doing it. They're just acting like this is, hey, this is great. We got this guy. We got this guy. We're trying to wrap our arms around this and try to figure out how much sense does this make to anybody. And if you're contributing to your programs, I mean, I know everybody's going to say, well, this is the way we're doing business this way. Why are we doing business this way? How did this get without any kind of gateway, no gatekeeper whatsoever? How did this happen? I mean, the NCAA failed so miserably at every level. The schools, the presidents, the athletic directors, the commissioners, everyone, that here we are looking at this free-for-all where there's zero loyalty. And I'm sorry, Tech fan, you're going to sit there and you're going to stick your chest out when they announce all these guys. I bet you a third of them aren't back next year. And then you're going to have to go back into this whole process again, just like every other school. The average is 66% of all the teams that are playing in the semifinals that came from the portal. Starters, the starting 22. 66% of the starting 22 came from the portal. If anybody thinks that recruiting freshmen and keeping them there for 3 or 4 years is logical, not going to happen. You can get all excited about the guys that Franklin brought in from Penn State all you want. Maybe a couple of them develop, maybe. And maybe they're satisfied with whatever money they got. But it's one thing to go into it knowing you're not going to play. And then if it continues to draw out, you're going to put yourself right back in the portal. Because teams are not going to stop tampering. The tampering doesn't end. Anybody who thinks just because the portal closes that this conversation, the reason the tampering doesn't end is because there's no rules. So there are probably guys you have on your roster that are sitting there talking to other teams midway through the season. This is why I really believe we're going to start to see teams without contracts. If teams get offered more money, if players get offered more money, don't you think we're going to start seeing guys jump? I don't know why a school would want somebody to be that disloyal, but maybe we're at the point where nobody cares anymore. Maybe it's so cutthroat, nobody cares. And there might be a school out there who needs a quarterback or a wide receiver. And if a guy has a deal and all of a sudden they're saying, you come here, you've got this more. I mean, I don't know how much these things are legal. Where's Ryan Pry? Our BDST fan question of the week sponsor. How much of this is legal? How much of this is binding? Yeah, that's a good way to put it, TP. It's like a train wreck. It's horrible. We have to see it. I live in it every day at Radford to a much less degree, but it's still there with men's basketball. I'm talking to people around the league and college basketball. Moore says we need a mouthpiece, not the Sachs type, but lawyer type. Tell us what's going on. Yeah. See, I don't know. I don't know. There's no contracts. There's no employment agreements. There's no anything. Guys are breaking deals and schools are suing now, right? Players are being taken to court. I don't know where it all spins around and ends. I just don't get it. But you can keep a blind eye. It's your choice. And a lot of people are doing that. I'd say probably most college football fans are just going, okay, this is what you have to do now. Let's go do it. Yeah, the educational part, TLB, is completely gone. Let's don't even kid ourselves anymore. What did Coach Elmatian say? When's the last time we heard about a kid and his academics, right, not being eligible academically? He's right. I can't think off the top of my head where I've heard that at all. Good morning, Rodney. How are you doing, brother? Yeah, it's crazy is the only way to put it. Yeah. So if you are being, I guess if you're a, high paid coach and they're making the salaries they are, I mean, I don't feel sorry for the coaches that are making what these guys are making. And they've always had their freedom, to do what they want. But I understand why so many coaches are getting out of it. I get it. But yeah, and it's not, for me, we're not talking about getting on board. Like I'm not having this discussion to say that schools should stand up against it. But it's that mindset that is going to keep this thing going because fans aren't going to go away. This is just like the NFL. It's not going to go away. Yeah, I don't know if the government getting their tax money from these kids? Are they? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. I mean, are they getting W-9s or W-2s? Are they getting tax forms from the schools? I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. But I mean, I understand this is the way business is going. That's not what this is about. This is just like, how did we get here? And how is this just happening? I don't know, David. Do they get a W-2, 1099? Do they even think about that? I don't know. I haven't asked any of our guys at Radford. I don't know. I try to just stay away from it, man. I just try to stay away from it. Good morning, Christopher. How you doing, brother? I don't know. No, they're not officially employees, Brian. They are not. They should be. That's the only way I think to solve this, to have contracts and accountability, to put in new rules about transfers. And I think, yeah, you would think so. For me, this agents would have to pay taxes on what they get. I don't know. See, those are great questions. I don't ever hear that talked about. Do we even hear that talked about at all? I don't know. I'm just sitting here trying to think about this as we're discussing it. I don't know the answer to the question. I just realized I don't know the answer to the question. I guess it's logically you would say that yes. I would assume that when you have a deal with the school, you have tax forms and immediately you become, but if there's no contract, payment agreements are mostly done through the school. So maybe that counts as kind of a contract. Yeah, we'll ask Todd. Yeah, we will. We'll ask Todd coming up. See what he says. I'm guessing so, TLB, that donors get tax deductions. Yeah. Moore says either a 1099 or W-2 would have to be one or the other. So maybe that's what's happening, right? You get an agreement, you immediately have to fill out the tax form. I mean, that's what we do when we hire people, like in the broadcasting department. They have to get their tax form in. So I'm guessing they take care of that. It has to be thought about, right? Wayne says, you think about 20, 25 years ago, it was nothing but rules, had to meet grades to compete, pay taxes, couldn't tamper with recruits. Now there are zero rules. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, we'll ask Todd these questions, see what they say, see what he says. Because I would like to know that question. I would, the answer to that question on the whole. Yeah, I know what they consider, Wayne, taxable, but I don't know how much of it's actually, I wonder how much of it's actually reported. Hey, Coach Elmo, good morning. He says it's amazing the NCAA and the courts brought college football to this current situation. They can't undo it. They don't want to undo it. Yeah, they're afraid, aren't they, Coach? They know that they can't in any way, shape, or form. They know that they can't in any way, shape, or form undo it, because if they try, they're going to lose lots of money and they're going to lose lots of things, man. So this is pay for play. NIL needs to be just put away forever. Let's stop with the whole NIL, right? It's not NIL. So it's pay for play. PFP is the new definition of it. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. Just like I wrote about. You give an inch, you take a mile. Tebow, you're right. And everybody's just watching it happen. Just watching it happen. Chris says they pay self-employment taxes unless they're sheltered properly. They're getting killed on taxes. Well, that's true. It would make sense, right, that if you're going to have this deal, that's something that the school doesn't want to be liable for. So that would make sense. So I'm just wondering how much longer it's going to become viable in anybody's mind. It really is. It's bizarre. The NCAA has nothing to do with college football. Coach Omo was right. And last night he sent me a text. I thought about him. I was watching the beginning of the FCS championship game, and there was the NCAA logo. I don't know if it's never going away, Chris. I hope you're wrong. You might be right. I hope you're wrong, because I don't see the money's not always going to be there. I don't see how it can be. I don't see how the money can always be there, because these salaries are escalating just like they do in every other sport. How much money is there? Where does this money come from for the next 10 years from people? A lot of people are struggling. Yeah, we ever going to see a salary cap like in the NFL? At least they try to manage it in the NFL with salary cap. I think I saw where there's 7 out of 8 new division winners in the National Football League. 7 out of 8. And that's what the NFL wants. That's parity, right? But this is just covered and reacted to like this is just, hey, this is just the way it is. Yeah, I do. Exactly, Prometheus. I want to know more about the taxes, and I want to know more about exactly, like, I want to see reports of how much tax money was paid out as a whole. It's a good question. I think we've uncovered some interesting things about this that a lot of people don't talk about. It's good. Very, very good. Thunder says it's sports related. It will stay viable, same as the guys that spend a few $100K on a race car to win a $250 purse on Saturday night. Makes no sense. Yeah, but the thing about that, Thunder, that's individual choice, right? That's somebody's individual choice. I don't know how many people it's going to take to continue to support these programs. They keep tapping into large donor bases. Look at the money that Virginia Tech said they needed to raise and how much of it was going to be responsible for donors, private donations, and so forth. And that's what I'm saying. How much are people going to continue to put up with this? Yeah, Prometheus is right. Tuition, it's going to go up all the time. It's amazing, isn't it? Tuition's going to go up for the normal student body where they're going to school to get their education and their degree. And it's going to help pay for these guys that are coming to the same school and they have no interest at all, in many cases, in getting that degree. Ticket prices are ridiculous. Parking, concessions. It's just going to come down to your choice, to fans' choice, to my choice. How much are you going to continue to contribute? How much can you? And when you just look at it and go, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's not worth it. And I'll tell you one thing, trust me, just for people around that I hear that talk to bigger fish in the college athletics realm, nobody has any clue what to do. There's nobody anywhere in college athletics that has any idea or any answers, and that's very disturbing. And these are people making lots of money. Of course, that's the way it's always been. The fish rots from the head. If you've got issues at the NCAA highest level, it's because they don't have leadership. If you have issues in your individual athletic department, it's because there's no leadership. There's just people that have just they've set the example by just taking their checks and doing very little. And then these guys are coming in trying to get paid. So that's why they look at it in a lot of ways and just let it go. That's what they've done their whole professional life. So now I guess these players are just coming in, and that's why people are just, deal with it. Coaches have had to take on the mantle, head coaches that are making, $20 $12 million a year, $10 million a year, which is just ridiculous. If you're a coach, you're a coach. But now, hey, it's part of the terrain, man. That's why you don't see them complaining. They have the good life. Their lives are set. Their lives are set. So this is going to come down, as it always does, to the fans. I mean, that's what it's going to be. And how much you're going to tolerate and how much you're going to put up with and how much I'm going to put up with. It's still big business for the conferences and for the networks. So that's why you don't see the networks pushing back on that. Just had a text message about that. You're not going to ever hear ESPN complain because they're making the most money out of this whole setup. They control the playoff. The playoff is only on Disney channels. So as long as they have that monopoly, they're not going to, to make the waters rough. They don't care. They don't care. Just mind-blowing how this went forward with basically no plan or guardrails. A normal college student won't be able to afford tuition at bigger universities. Correct. I don't see how families do it now. And you got kids that are going to be playing exactly Prometheus. Kids are going to be going to at least now. Heck, you go to 2 schools, you're going to feel like you're not doing enough. It's going to be 3-4 schools for most of these kids, as long as there's no limit or lid on how many times they can transfer out and try to go for a bigger payday. Biggest thing I would do, Rodney, is make them employees immediately. If I could change it, which I can't. They have to become employees with contracts, legal binding contracts, I would say at least for 2 years. And you would say, okay, look, not only is this a contract, you've got to commit to us. We're committed to you to give you this money. You've got to commit to us. Give us 2 years, and here's what we need you to do. You have to have a certain amount of, I know this isn't going to happen, but there should be an academic motivation in there, right? There should be academic clauses in there to achieve a certain amount of academic standing. I know that sounds crazy. There should be performance, like initiators in there. If you hit a certain level, boom, you get maybe even more money. Or if you don't contribute a certain way, then you don't. Incentive clauses, whatever it might be. Now, I know that's not realistic, but you're asking me, and I would limit the transfer thing. You shouldn't be able just to transfer freely like this. Once you sign a contract and you're making millions of dollars, all this thing about how, well, kids, what happens if their coach transfers? They're not going to these schools because of coaches anyway. So I don't want to hear that anymore. I used to side, and back in the day, it was legitimate where coaches could leave, and you had kids that were stuck there, and when they would get punished if they wanted to leave, because kids were then going to those schools primarily because of the relationship with the coach. But now they're going to these schools to get paid. So if they're in a contract and that's their job, and then their boss leaves, so what? Here comes a new boss. You're still getting paid the same. Paul says, and also Franklin so far is turning his tenure into a Fuentes type of feeling that won't last long at Tech. Open and transparent, talking to the media. Yeah, he's not doing any of that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Degrees are not worth it. It's getting to that point. Sad, isn't it, Prometheus? See, there's nobody to enforce making them sit out a year now because the NCAA knows they're going to be sued and they're going to lose. Now that they've allowed this freedom, where's it going to come from? Where is the hammer going to come down as the authoritative say and stop all this? I don't know the answer to that. I don't think there can be one. Yeah, I like it, Rodney. 2 years, yes. And if you transfer once and transfer again, you have to sit out a whole year. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, give us at least 2-year contract. So fans can at least, because you have to start thinking about your clientele a little bit, your fan base a little bit, right? Don't you have to? At some point, the customer has to be thought of. What's the motivation for your customer, you, the fan, you, the donor, to continue to contribute if you think, oh, this kid's only here for 1 year and he's going to go, he might put himself in the portal and sign at our state rival. He might be a Virginia guy next year, or a Virginia guy might go to Tech the next year. Where's the motivation for fans to be invested? I mean, everybody across the country is going to get all giddy about these classes they're bringing in. You have some of these morons on X that still try to make it like, oh, they beat out this team for this guy. Just stop saying, when's the reporting on this going to be honest? Then again, we're talking about access media here. Everybody just needs to start saying it's all about how much did this kid get paid? How much did that kid get paid? Because I'm telling you, even at our level in the Big South, that's all it's about, folks. Don't kid yourselves into thinking that any of these guys that are coming to Blacksburg are all of a sudden in love with Blacksburg. They don't care a lick. Any of these guys who are transferring from any other school to any other school, it's all about what they're getting. Nobody's taking less money to go play for a coach they may like better. In no world is that reality. Wayne, this is home. God, I hope they drop that. It was embarrassing when they did it for Franklin. That was embarrassing. Like, how was in any way, shape, or form, how is it home, coming back home? What? Yeah, that needs to go away. There is no home anymore at any of these schools. What's home? Home is where you're getting paid the most for that year. And then that home may change the next year. Wow, it's craziness. It's insanity. Joining us now to talk about the insanity. There she is. It's Marva in Miami. Happy New Year, Marva in Miami.
Happy New Year to you, Rick, and to everybody watching today.
How is everybody? How's the fam? How'd you guys ring in the new year?
Where were we? We took a trip right after Christmas. For the first time, we took the auto train from Central Florida, so about 4.5 hours away from where we live.
Oh, the train, that's cool.
Yes, to Northern Virginia, where my sister-in-law and her family live. So it was really fun. I mean, sleeping on the train, had a little sleeper. It was actually very nice. It's a nice way to go up. Then you get your car when you get there, and so you can drive back. So that's what we did. So
cool.
For the new year, we were in Savannah, Georgia, actually, because we were just driving back, and that's where we stopped. And so we got to ring it in there, watching some football, and then you wake up, we're in Savannah. So
nice.
Cool.
Nice. Well, good. That's cool. Yeah, the train thing, a lot of people are doing that now. Train is like picking up momentum, man. It is. I can see, you can still see the countryside, right? You're not stuck on a bus.
But you don't have to drive it, so it's nice.
Yeah, you don't have to drive it. That's a good idea.
And you go through like small towns, they would point out this is such and such, and this is this statue, and it might not have been anything you really knew much about, but it's like, oh, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
and the food was pretty good, so it was nice.
Okay, well, good. And it's educational for your youngins.
Yeah, I think they enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's cool. That's cool. Marva, what are we going to do? We need your help. What are we going to do about college athletics? Come on, Marva. Enlighten us. You're smart.
Oh, wow. Well, if just a moment of personal privilege. Yesterday, my husband told me that he's like, I see you're standing up. I have some news. And he's like, Gio Lopez has entered the transfer portal. And I had to take a moment, and I wish the young man well. I think that was a good decision.
You're heartbroken, aren't you? You can't believe it.
I wish the young man well. Okay? It wasn't going to work out for him there. And I'm just glad that he is moving on. So, but still to be nice about it. Like I said, I hope he finds a spot. But, obviously there's some problems, and I think it'll be worked out over time. I mean, all these things that it'll be worked out. Whenever there's been a problem, I think so. I think it will be. It may take a while, but it will be worked out. But right now, like I said, I'm not going to complain about the portal. I know a lot of people entered the portal, and it's devastating sometimes when it's a favorite player of yours.
I don't think we can have favorite players anymore. I think it's just like.
Well, I mean, I think you can, but it's like a tentative thing, that's my favorite player. But I know as a fan of Carolina, and I'm on the Carolina boards, and sometimes they are absolutely wackadoo. As any fandom, you're going to have some wackadoo people out there.
Oh, I know.
There are people who are talking about, this player left. Look what they're doing at this school, and da-da-da-da-da. And, some people are like, once they leave, I don't care about them anymore. I don't want to know what they're doing. I don't want to hear about it. And for me, it really depends on the player. Like if somebody was just there for 1 year and I didn't develop any kind of connection to them, I don't have animosity. I mean, maybe it was just a better situation, especially when you see people go down. Like they're at, they're one of the biggest programs, and then they go to a smaller program and they have success. Again, I'm happy for them. That's good. They realized they were not at the right spot. When someone kind of makes a more lateral move, they go from one big program to another pretty big program, and then they have success. I still am not bitter about it. I'm still like, good for you. But most of my concern is with the players who are currently on the team. And so I just can't, I don't carry it. I don't carry either this great animosity that some people have. I just don't think it's worth, like, we don't know these people, Rick. Sometimes I feel like we have to say that. They're not our family. We don't know these people,
We just know they're making a lot more money than us. That's all we do know.
Yes. And, we would be doing the same thing if we could.
Yes, and that's and to your point, that is a great point. And that's the whole conversation. I should have mentioned earlier. This isn't on the players. You're right. This is not. Right. They're doing what freedom's allowing them to do, and this was all created by the supposed adults.
Yeah, they're not breaking
supposed
rules.
To be in charge. So. No, this is not.
Yeah,
they're just acting like you said it right. If we were 20 again and we were a major success as a college football player, and we had a chance, we'd be doing the same thing. But it's
right.
It's the people allowed it to come to this. That's whose fault this is.
Right. And, we'll see. I really do think things will even out. We'll see some more rules for fairness. I mean, but really, it doesn't.
I don't think so.
It doesn't really bother me, though. I try not to get worked up about this. I am going to enjoy the team that, for in my case, that Carolina has right now. I'm going to enjoy this team. I don't feel like any of the players that left were kind of, wrong the team. I mean, interestingly enough, we had a player who left. It wasn't getting a whole lot of playing time, and he went to NC State. Some people didn't like that because it was a big rival, but he wasn't. I don't know. I don't feel like I had a special connection to him. He was there for a while. He didn't do that great, and if he's going to do better there, that's fine. Like I think we all have to take a step back, and it can be hard as a fan to take a step back sometimes, but sometimes we get a little bit too worked up and a little bit too close to something, to people. Again, we don't know these people, Rick. So
it's more a systematic thing. We're looking at it from a systematic standpoint. It's just not going to be sustainable.
No, and so it won't last.
It can't be.
There will be changes. And it will be hopefully for the better. And, when this first came about, talking about transfer portal, talking about NIL, again, I didn't mind it. I hated to see players get so devoted to a coach and have that coach leave. and have that coach.
Yeah, that used to be the case.
I hated to see that.
That used to be the case. Now it doesn't matter.
So yeah, because now everybody's moving around, right?
Correct,
if you can. And we're going to see some people who are going to be locked in and going to stay. And those will be great situations for us. And as fans, we can revel in those. There's some people who are, true blue, for lack of a better phrase, and they're going to stay wherever they are because that's their heart. That's where they're locked in. And we love that. But we have to realize for other people, it's going to be more like a business. It's going to be more like, your job or people watching. And it's like, a lot of us hopefully enjoy our work and we love our coworkers and everything like that. But there is an offer that could come that would get you to walk out the door for most people. I'm not talking about your family business or whatever, but you're working for somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. Wayne says Jordan is saying that she's not entering the portal. She's still getting paid.
Oh, please. Can we not? Can we not? I thought we could get through one segment without talking about Jordan. Jordan is still there. Like, I don't know why I always get this stuff in my feed, but on New Year's Eve, there was a post where she was putting, something like, we're still together. It's our third New Year's Eve together and blah, blah, blah. And,
did she really?
Yeah. Because, I think she feels like maybe people are rooting for them to break up. And I am not in that. I'm not rooting for them to break up. I'm just rooting to hear less about them. That's all. They can stay together for, I don't know how long.
Is it 3 years? Have they been together 3 years? Really?
Yeah, because remember their relationship wasn't public at first. And so she so now it's very public. Okay, that's my issue. It's just too public.
Wow, 3 years.
So yeah, I think it was 3. She said 3 New Year's Eves together or whatever.
It's hard to believe. Yeah.
So they said it wasn't going to last. And again, Rick, I am not rooting for them to break up. I'm rooting to know less about their relationship.
Yeah, we just we just don't need to ever see them together again. Just let him be the head coach.
Well, let them be together outside of the football arena. Like, No,
I don't even want to see that. I don't want to see them out. No, I don't want to see any pictures. We don't need any of that. Nobody needs to see
I can do without some of it. Definitely. And like I said, don't go looking for this stuff, Rick. I never go looking for it, but there it was.
So bad.
She's trolling us.
Tough one for your heels at SMU.
Yes, that was bad. That game was tied at the halftime. And so I didn't feel like Carolina was playing their best game, clearly, but it was tied at halftime. So I was thinking, okay, they'll get it, make some adjustments, and then, win this game. But SMU, I have to tip my hat to them. They were just shooting lights out. They had, it was, when that happens, sometimes you have one player get hot. And they had a point guard who got hot, but also they had 3 players really who were just shooting lights out. And when that happens, I don't know what you can do. Leading up to that game, Carolina had one of the best, defenses in both ACC and also just in college basketball at large. They were doing really well with keeping their opponents scoring down. But just, I don't know. And now when this happens, again, as I tell you, I'm in these groups. People are like, Hubert Davis needs to be fired. Like, people are saying that, Rick. The team is 13-2. No, let's everybody relax, just calm down. It's one game. It wasn't good, especially that second half. Not good at all. And Carolina needs to make some improvements. Carolina's had some issues at point guard and still trying to figure out who's going to play that role. It's gotten to the point where they're sometimes having Seth Trimble play that role at the end of games because don't have faith in the guys that Carolina has right now. I think it will be worked out. Carolina has a nice little break now. Game was on Sunday. They don't play again until Saturday when they play Wake at home. And I think that'll be a chance to kind of regroup and get things back together. But just the way people were talking, like, whole team is trash. Hubert Davis need to be fired. It's like those silly Dr. Pepper commercials, which they're fun. But people don't realize they're parroting. They're making fun of these, people who are just, you expect to win every game. You're not going to win every game. There's no way.
Which Dr. Pepper commercials?
I'm
a pepper, you're a pepper, we're
oh my
pepper.
gosh, Rick, where have you been? The ones where they have Fansville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like, they meet the coach, they didn't even lose, but they just didn't win by as much as they thought. And they're like, you're on a hot seat now, and da da da. And they're gonna fire him. And then he says, but do they have my contract with Dr. Pepper? And he opens up his garage and there's just cases of the stuff. And then they change their minds quickly. So again, people just need to relax. Yes, there's some concerns, but your team's 13-2 for Carolina fans. You're doing well. I mean, I just see it. I have friends who are fans of pretty much, well, nearly all the legacy teams in the ACC, and people are just people lose their minds. They're losing their minds right now. Like, just again, relax. Give your team a chance. I mean, it's been wild and wacky, and the conference play has just started. I don't think we've been on since Tech beat UVA, that overtime game. I mean, that was
correct. Yeah.
That was phenomenal. That was great.
Yeah, that was a great start. Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun to watch. And I love these games, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But I still have to tell people, just kind of pump your brakes. Nobody should be talking about, in basketball, firing your coach now.
One game in January doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I think there's just some people, they just kind of lose their minds. And
it's not like football. It's not like football.
Well, yeah, they do it in football too. But I wonder if some of this, as we talked about this before, is the gambling. Because some people their reactions are 100%, so over the top.
100%.
I wonder, are you just losing money? Is that why you have such a outsized reaction to what's happening?
Absolutely it is. And that's why the ratings will continue to be good in college football, because I think a lot of it's tied to having it on. Gamblers are watching more. I think I saw like 40% more bets or something were made.
Wow.
In college football. Crazy.
But I mean,
insanity.
It is insanity. And I mean, I just like these games. Like, I have been enjoying a lot of the games, and like, I was enjoying Miami. I didn't watch it from the start, but I did see the end, and I started kind of watching maybe in the second quarter, and I enjoyed it. Just because, and for me, it was more about the Notre Dame thing. Like, they were upset about them being there, and then you saw, they came out, they put a good performance out. Same thing with the Alabama, Indiana. That was, even though as a non-fan, I just liked it because people thought Indiana couldn't do it. That's what made me
they're
like
easy
it.
to pull for just because and they're still getting dissed. Kind of people give them sideways compliments now.
Yeah.
I mean, well, how can you watch that team and not realize what Kurt Cignetti has done in
they're
this era?
Solid, and I don't know why people will. I guess it's just because we're used to the same old names. We're used to them, right? We are used to Alabama. We're used to Alabama dominating. We're used to Georgia being dominant, and then to see them not be, it's kind of, tilts your world in a weird way. And I get that, why people, but it's still, as someone who doesn't have a rooting interest, I didn't grow up with those teams or pulling for those teams. It's just fun to watch and to see how excited the players are.
Are they?
A lot of them are, because a lot of them are listening to noise. They're listening to the noise.
Yeah, I think the guys that are there with that team, it seems like they've got a little different vibe. Yeah, they do.
So I like that. And I like to see players who maybe weren't highly recruited do well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what all happens. We missed you last week.
Don't sound so down. Rick, the year's just beginning. Okay? You're supposed to be optimistic now.
I think there's going to be a mega implosion soon in college athletics. And that concerns me. I don't know what that's going to mean for 90% of the schools. There's going to be a 10 to 15% that survive it, and nobody else is going to. And I don't think people understand how close we are to that happening.
Well, I mean,
so it's a concern.
It is a concern. And I think it's interesting that we're hearing people talk about it more now, but it's always been a concern. There have always been schools where this thing is hard.
Yeah, this is...
and it's getting harder. Yes, it's getting harder. And there's some schools that are losing players. A lot of schools are losing players, but I mean, smaller schools who, we see it every year, say with March Madness, there's a school that no one's ever really paid attention to or heard of. They have a guy, he comes out and he just, amazes everyone. And then in the old days, he goes back to his small market, but now he amazes everyone. And then he snapped up. And
he's going to
a school that was already had everything. Just, the rich get richer, right? We see that. That's always been the case, but now it's worse.
Yeah, and if I really believe if you're not part of the next expansion, if you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten, you're screwed.
Yeah,
I really believe that. I think that's where we're headed. That they're going to break off. Those two leagues are going to break off into their own entity. I believe that's what's going to happen.
You know, we've talked about this and about the ACC, and it's weird.
Yep.
And I hate to see it as a lifelong fan of the conference, what may happen. It's not a good situation. I really do hate the way, you know, football and football money has been allowed to change these things. I mean, it's weird to me. Carolina's playing SMU as a conference game.
Yeah,
what sense does that make?
At least of the three that they added, at least that one, because they've been competitive, but because of the money they have. But the whole Cal Stanford thing is such
it's weird,
an immense fail and total representation of how bad the decisions are being made in college athletics.
And it's going to hurt the players. It's going to hurt that's a wild, crazy road trip, and it's going to hurt for the smaller sports the most.
Yeah, it is. All right, well, great stuff. Great stuff as always. Good to see you again, and I'm glad everybody's good for New Year. Yeah. Yes. So we'll see how things play out. We'll continue through January. Once you get to February, conference races in college basketball are going to become a lot more fun. So here we are. Yes. We're here. It's here.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm here for it. I'm excited to see it.
Oh, I know you are. Good luck to your Blue Devils. Take care. Have a great rest of the week. My best to your family. We love Marva. She didn't like the Blue Devils comment. She did not like that. We like family fencing. Thanks to Jason Green, sponsor of our studio here in Ryder, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com. Thanks to all those folks. Call them now. Doesn't matter whether it's the winter or not. They want to come and get your yard ready. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, sponsor of our always bustling chat room. Go see Mark right off of Peppers Ferry Road. If you have a back issue or something else, you're not feeling great, let Mark go assess what you need. And he's got all the latest technology. It's insane, man. You go over there, you're just like, wow. Just ask Travis Williams, Professional Incorporated, sponsor of our text line. Residential commercial garage doors, family owned and operated 38 years. He is now a patient for Mark. It says it's helped him a lot. I bet his back does get a little sore doing what he does. Congratulations to everything, Trav. Ready, Set, Fun with Bob Christ, bobchrist11@gmail.com. If you want to raise money for your team, your local group, whatever it might be, check out readysetfun.com. Reach out to Bob and let him help you. I want to thank Lara Ramsey, National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST. I was glad to leave them a very positive review yesterday. They are tremendous. The customer service is outstanding. If you're looking for a new bank, that's where you should go. I get treated so well. I do most of my banking at the Radford branch, and they are terrific. Ryan Price, the attorney in Radford, of our BDST fan question of the week, 701 West Main Street in Radford. Trust and estate planning. I don't know. I still don't have a question. Let's do it this way. Who's going to play in the national championship game in college football? Who's going to be the two teams that win in the semifinals? Let's do that. That'll be our BDST fan question of the week. I went back and looked, last year we averaged like 60-some responses for every fan question of the week. That's awesome. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Nobody does it better than Little River Heating and Air. Coming up on the year anniversary of my lightning strike in February that destroyed my heat and air units, and they helped me out tremendously. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment's the presenting sponsor of this program, and I can't wait. They said they've got more major announcements coming up here in about a week. They just don't stop, man. Can't stop, won't stop. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel in Pulaski, 4377 Lee Highway. Put together our T-shirts. If you need a T-shirt, let me know. $20 here locally. I got a request for one, and I will respond to that today, by the way. Yeah, we'll do that. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply since 1997. They've been around. James Lawson has been very loyal to the community. 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, 540-381-8011. Give them a call. Home parts, windows, doors, plumbing, all that stuff. Great. Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner going to join us here in just a little bit. NRB Super Bowl's been around for 25 years, and other than league nights, they have all sorts of great deals and opportunities. They have really improved the environment there. It's terrific. So give them a call. Call Terry Stike or Amanda. Tell them we were talking about it. And Harvey's GM, of course, yesterday the announcement came. Harvey's sold to Sheeler. I don't know how that's going to look going forward, but congratulations to all the folks, Harvey's, to Brad and to George Jr. They've been great. 66 years, I think I saw. Harvey's has been a thing. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing. And I hope they're going to keep all the employees and everything. But, that's always one that kind of makes you feel, kind of hate that has to happen. But I get it. They've been doing it a long time. And I know those two guys are ready to retire. Now they can and feel good about everything. So thanks to everything from everybody at Harvey's GM. Hopefully it'll still function the way it has been, So we'll see. We'll see. I hope so. I hope they don't change. Yeah, Mendoza is a great kid, Prometheus. He's going to make the Raiders good very quickly. You're going to get a good one. I hate it as a Broncos fan, but you're going to get a good one. Wayne said he almost needed family fencing after wind blew down some of his fence. I'm telling you, you should have called family fencing. Should have called Jason. Yeah, that's going to be our fan question of the week. Who do you think is going to win that game? Let me know. We're getting a lot of Miami, Indiana's here in chat. We'll count that. Hit me up on the text line throughout the week as well. We'll announce it. I hope it's that game. I do. I hope that's the game we get, Indiana and Miami. I do. Has Miami been inconsistent? They beat Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Ohio State. They've gotten consistent when it matters. We heard Coach Elmo. He believes it'll be Miami and Indiana. So I think they'll be. We'll see. I hope it works out. I hope it works out. We'll see. All right, to talk about the mess that is the portal and everything else is that gentleman, Brian Seigla. Happy New Year, Brian, from the Boundary Corner podcast. What's up, brother?
Happy New Year, Rick. How you doing today?
Doing all right, man. How are you? How's the fam? Everybody still doing okay as well as you can?
Doing okay. Taking it a day at a time. Just trying to, work through everything and continue to process and do the best we can, man. But I appreciate it.
Well, I know we've been kind of talking in chat today about the mess that is the portal, but I guess we can talk about it now. At least you, as a guy who's following everything that Tech is doing, gives you something to kind of distract yourself a little bit, right? So what's your thoughts so far? I mean, we see all these reports, nothing confirmed by the schools anywhere across the country, really. So you just kind of hope all these things are accurate, but things seem to be progressing as you kind of anticipated from a Tech perspective.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, nothing is official yet on this front, but we're getting confirmation that Virginia Tech has not just one quarterback but two quarterbacks. You got Ethan Grunkmeyer coming over from Penn State, and you got Bryce Baker from UNC. So I mean, that's a good kind of 1-2 punch. You got a very solid young guy that showed a whole lot in 7 games at Penn State, and you've got a high upside, more developmental player in Bryce there. I think that's a good start for the Hokies, as long as what's being reported ends up coming to fruition. Obviously looking at the ones that are official, kind of in the books. Matt Henderson, solid pickup. You get a Powhatan kid, coming back into Virginia. That's a great thing. You love seeing that. Obviously Justin Bell, I think he's showing some potential. I think that it's interesting that we're targeting a little bit more like youth movement from a trenches standpoint than I was expecting versus kind of that veteran talent. But Justin Bell is a good ad. You still got a couple other linemen that were visiting yesterday that could be in play there. Really interested to see how that moves forward, because really offensive line is the biggest area of concern for me. So we've got to take care of that. Obviously, the overnight one with Javion Hilson, I think, was probably the biggest one we got so far. Really showed some pretty good tape out of the gate last year at Missouri. Was a 5-star in rivals coming out of high school, so that's another very talented player that comes into the fold there. And then you got Daniel Jennings coming over from Penn State as well. He's kind of more of a, probably going to end up, he's listed as an edge, but probably going to play a 3 technique. Looks like, based on where his weight's trending up and his height's about 6'1", 6'2", he's probably going to be a 3 technique for us. I don't know if he's going to be an impact player in 2026 more so than kind of a rotational guy. But I mean, right now the haul is pretty good, especially when you look at the quarterbacks. I think we just need to start honing in on the trenches, honing in on that linebacker position. I know we got another prediction for the cornerback from UConn overnight. So, you're shoring up the secondary a little bit. So I'm interested to see how these next few days play out. We're not really going to talk a whole lot about the portal on our show until probably middle of next week, just to kind of let some of the dust settle a little bit.
Absolutely. I get it. Yeah. How many years does Gruck have, Gruckemeyer? 2 years more? 2 more years or 3 more? How many does he have?
Let's see. He was actually a red shirt freshman, so he has 3 years of eligibility left.
And Baker has what, 3?
3.
So there's no way Hume's going to be here after this year. Let's just say it the way it is. Like, everybody got excited about Hume. There's no way he's sitting for 3 years in this day and age. Sorry. He's never going to see the field in Blacksburg.
So, I mean, some of that depends on how long you get a Gruckmeyer in your building.
If they stay, if you continue to just keep those guys year after year. Because if he has a good year in Blacksburg, you're right, it's a great point. He's going to want more money, right?
Yep.
And he could get it somewhere else. That's true.
And then, at that point, have you brought Bryce Baker along enough where you feel good with that? Has Hume shown enough improvement where you're good with a quarterback battle at that point? So, I mean, it's one of those things where you've got to have a primary focus, but you also have to have at least 1 or 2 contingency plans, at least for the long term, just because you are having to re-recruit that roster every year.
Have you heard? I've heard Gruck is like $2.5 million. Have you heard anything about Baker? What he was asking? Because if he's coming here, he's got to compete, and he may have to realize he might be the backup. That's always a tough get to get that second quarterback. I'm guessing they still had to pay him 7 figures to come
pretty
here.
Close to it. I mean, it sounds like the market for quarterback is 1 to 5, depending on the quality this year. I was seeing some ranges. I think J Book put out a kind of an estimated range of what those numbers are looking like. Like 1 to 5 is kind of what quarterbacks are going for, with the average being somewhere between 2 and 3. So I think that that kind of tells you what it is. I would say, Baker's probably at least getting 1 to 1.5 if Grunk's getting 2.5. Again, nothing official yet. I think we'll see those numbers as things start to shake out, and that's probably why we haven't seen anything official, is that we've got commitment in principle. We're just kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's on that NIL language.
Yeah, you're right, and I think that's the way it is across the country. You'll see posts, but you wait until you see something from the school, right? And then you go, okay, now they're signed. Now they're signed, at least for the coming year. So
Yeah, I mean, and we did at least see the language shifted from Ethan Grunkemeyer expected to sign with the Hokies to Ethan Grunkemeyer has signed with the Hokies, but it's still nothing from the official channels. It's all coming from kind of national media accounts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, yeah, because he's not talking to anybody locally. So,
yeah.
Anything else on the coaching staff? I know people have been asking about a defensive back out of Michigan. Anything? Have you heard anything about the defensive backs coach out of Michigan? Anything new regarding that? Have you heard anything?
Nothing new per se. It sounds like, Lamar Morgan is the guy that we've circled. I think it's just going to depend on if things work out from a, contractual hurdle standpoint as to whether that comes to fruition. But I would be really excited about that. That was kind of, 1A, 1B. If we were looking at Anthony Poindexter being the other guy, like if we were targeting somebody that was probably going to be available to us, that was going to be my 1B for that position. Looking at a safeties and potential DC role for the Hokies. So I'm excited if that ends up playing out. Obviously, it stinks not getting that kind of fully circled before you get into the portal season, but I think it is what it is, and hopefully that they're far enough along in those discussions where James Franklin is able to feel confident in talking that through with any sort of safety portal guys that he's having conversations with.
What's been in your impression of the coaching staff so far? It's been announced, nothing official, but guys that we've seen that have been reported that are coming to Blacksburg.
I mean, I think defense looks very, very strong, really across the board. You're seeing what Chaos has already been able to do in the portal with the Hilson get overnight. I think when you look at just the ability to recruit and the output that he gets from the players on the field, he's in the top 5 in the country, probably with those two things combined. Having somebody like that in your building's big. I think getting Anthony Midget back in the fold has been really cool. That's a guy that's Virginia Tech through and through. I think that's been big for this staff. And then looking on the offensive side, I think you've got some really good pieces, and I think a lot of it's going to hinge on, is Ty Howell the guy that can put all those pieces together?
Yes. I think that's going to be the most of all the hires. The scrutiny with that is going to be huge because Tech's put themselves back in the same situation they were in before with Brent Pry.
It looks very similar. Like the difference though that we can say here is that by all accounts, Ty Howell is the guy that Franklin wanted to hire 2 years ago. So that's number one. And number two is that Franklin's been a college football head coach before. So Ty Howell is coming to a situation where his mentor is not learning on the job as well. So there's a little bit of a difference there where, Bowen was learning on the job while Coach Pry was learning on the job. And at the end of the day, I think one of the bigger problems that we ended up seeing was not so much that, Tyler Bowen was awful, but I think Tyler Bowen bit off more than he could chew when he decided he was also going to be the quarterback's coach, even though he was kind of doing that in a lot of ways in name only. I think that put us in a little bit of a predicament from his experience standpoint, whereas, when he was coaching tight ends, that was kind of a different story.
Yeah. And finally, any people said that they saw that J.C. Price took an analyst role. I have not seen that. Did that happen? Is that official? Have you heard anything about J.C.?
I have heard that he will be taking an analyst role. I have not seen anything official about that.
Okay. I'm going to ask Todd here in a second, too, because he and J.C. are very good friends. But, okay, I'd wondered about that. So who knows? Well, we'll see, man. Who you got winning? Everybody in chat seems like they think it's going to be Indiana and Miami. What do you think?
I'm right there with them. Indiana's looked too good, too consistent throughout the year. I think they match up pretty well against Oregon. The only thing kind of really going in their favor, I think, is when you look at it, it's hard to beat a team twice in a season. So we'll see how that shakes out. I really do like Miami's chances, though. I think they match up very well. I think that defensive front is going to give some problems. So I think it's going to be Indiana, Miami, and I think probably Indiana ends up winning the whole thing. But we can have that conversation next week.
It feels like it, does it? Yeah, it feels
does.
like it. All right, when are you guys rolling this week? When can people catch the Boundary guys?
We're taking a break this week. We're going to let the dust settle on the transfer portal.
Makes sense.
We will start our new season 7, next week.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
awesome.
Season 7 starts off next week, and we will be ready to roll, talking some transfer portal. Hopefully by then we'll have everything official on the final I's and T's getting completed on this staff, and we can have some good conversation on that front as well.
All right. Well, enjoy your week off, my friend, and my best to your fam. I think I saw your dad's services this weekend, correct? Is that what you posted?
That's right. It's this Saturday at 2:00. Yep.
All right. Thinking about you, brother. Thinking about you. Good luck,
I
man.
appreciate you, Rick. Thanks for having me again,
right,
and y'all have a good one.
All right, man. Talk to you next week. Be good.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner podcast. They do a great job. Appreciate him and everything they do. They have a lot of fun. Brian, of course, just lost his dad a few weeks ago, and it's been tough, especially around the holidays. So we're thinking about him, and they won't have a show this week, but they'll be back next week on the Boundary Corner. So check it out, man. They're great. They're great. They do a really good job. Todd, Grantham, and Mike Burnop. I told you we were loaded today. You got Marva, who's mad at me now. I did say, all I said was go Blue Devils. Brian Seigla, we'll catch up with Todd, who I'm guessing is going to be in Birmingham. And we'll talk about his journey and his decision process. And everybody's been asking. Very happy for him. I know how happy he is to be going to work for somebody that he really likes. And as his final stop, man, he's earned the right. You look at that resume of his, he's been all over power schools in the NFL. He could have gone back to both. But he decided, you know what? Let's do something that I want to do. Let's go help somebody implement a program. So good for him, man. Good for him. But we'll see. Morris says the variable is Crisco Grease making bad calls. Miami has the better athletes. Stop them. No question they do. Yeah, Miami's always looked like Selma Hayek walking into a room, and then they end up performing like Ruth Buzzy from the old – does anybody know who Ruth Buzzy is? From the old Laugh-In days. Now, not only are they looking like Selma here in the postseason, they're starting to really perform like Selma. See, it's easy. If you want to win, college football, look more like Selma Hayek. Oh, I did, didn't I? I actually said the Blue Devils were Marva's team. That's right. Hey, everybody knows Ruth Buzzy. Oh, I'm glad somebody knows who Ruth Buzzy is. So then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you want to walk around and look like this, right? This is what you want in the postseason. And that's how Miami's always looked. And then they end up performing like Ruth Buzzy. Wow, I don't know what Ruth Buzzy was in other than Laugh-In, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. Yeah, park bench and the purse slap. Correct. And she wore like the mosquito, the netting on her head. But in any event, Mike Burnop joins us at 8 o'clock. All right. I believe he's ready to go. He's on a schedule today because there he is.
What's up, man?
Todd Grantham. How are you doing now? And now we can say it
man.
officially for the first time. Welcome to the program, the defensive coordinator for the UAB Blazers. Congratulations, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm excited. Typical in Nick fashion, 7:30 a.m. staff meeting, man. This is like being with Nick at 1995. So it's all good. Looking forward to it because I'm actually an hour behind. I'm actually an hour behind you.
That's true.
It's all good.
That's true. Yeah, in Birmingham, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, it works out in our favor. So it's all good.
Well, thanks for trying yesterday. I know you were driving, I guess, down there, and it was a good. I thought we could do it via car, so it's good to have you.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I did better than the guys that were wrecked on the side going through Atlanta, man. Like, why you would want to live there, man? Is beyond me. So
I'm with you. Well, let's get into it. I know you and I had been talking, and I know some of the rationale you had, but hey, you know what? You're down now to where you can make any choice you want. You've been all over the Power Fours. You've been in the SEC for the majority of your career, the Big Ten, NFL, but now it's time to go somewhere you really want to go with. I know a young coach you have a lot of respect for.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I'm fired up, man. It really is. It's basically when I had talked to Alex, and he and I worked together at Alabama, and it was like, hey, man, I want you to come in, run the defense, be the head coach of the defense and run it. And they weren't very good last year, which is kind of a theme that I've been associated with a little bit, and look forward to changing around, So we're going to get it done. It's amazing, the whole portal thing, man. It's just it's not really good for the sport. It's not good for the kids because at the end of the day, when you talk to kids, it's really kids get in the portal for two reasons. One, playing time, and the other, money. That's the two reasons they get in. And not that that's bad, but I'm just saying, I can go through a laundry list of guys that waited their turn and developed through the process, got their degree, and still ended up playing 2 to 3 years and getting drafted, if they had that ability. So it's the world we live in. It's not going to change for a while. So you just kind of deal with it, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Now the whole thing is they started this the NIL, and then they came to rev share, and there's supposed to be a salary cap, but there's not really a salary cap. I mean, that's all BS because they can finagle a contract with NIL money, and the NCAA does have this department that you have to get your contracts approved, but it's like one person, or it's one segment doing it for every, and all these contracts are coming in at once, right? So that's not a good that's not really a good system, but that's what they chose. And then there is no cap. Like, first of all, I don't even know what the punishment would be if you went over the money.
Right, exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Second of all, you can distribute it to say, well, it's NIL money, it's rev share. So at the end of the day, it's really pay for play, and it's the highest bidder. Like, it's really funny watching, and I'll be honest with you, and I've really felt this for a while, is you really need to spend more money in your recruiting department than you've ever have, because you got to research guys. Okay. And what I'm saying is as soon as the portal opens per se, and you kind of know who's going in the portal before, but you need to have eyes on guys. Cause I can tell you schools that paid like close to $1 million for a kid, and you could find a kid for 80% less than that, maybe 90. That, to be honest with you, the difference is not $900,000. You know what I'm saying? But you could save money. So to me, the interesting thing that would really make it like more NFL-ish or competitive or balance it out is if there was an actual like salary cap. So then how you spend your money does matter, as opposed to, being like the Yankees or the Dodgers, and we're just going to continue to spend to get our players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that would be the interesting, and that's where the NFL has the leg up on a lot of people, is just from a, systematic standpoint with the salary cap. It really does make things more competitive, and it challenges you. It really challenges you to find players though, because like I told you before, when I was in the National Football League, like, yeah, you had your stars that everybody knows about, but 80% of your guys you could shake them up and they could be other guys. You know what I'm saying? They're just your core guys, and they're solid and all that kind of thing. So that to me would be the thing that would make it a little bit more of a level playing field, and truthfully become more parity than you're kind of seeing now. So, but that'll be down the road. You know, that's where Congress at the end of the day, it's going to have to be some kind of antitrust settlement through Congress that allows that to happen, because even the whole getting players as employees, there's so many things on that. For example, then do they have a union? Well, who's in charge of the union? Well, then how do you handle high school kids coming into the union? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah,
because
sure.
they're signing contracts. So, you know, it just trickles down. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, and you're going to a program that, you know, was eliminated for a few years. They came back with a lot of support, a lot of backing, and that had to get you excited a little bit, knowing that there's a fervent fan base and alumni base down there that really appreciates football, and they've come back and they've had immediate success. That had to get you excited as well,
Yeah.
right? To go down to an area like that.
The thing that excites me is, one, you know, with my situation, I mean, contractually, you know, I can really choose to do what I want to do. And it's in the part of the country I want to be in. Okay, so I get to be in the southeastern part of the country, which I really like, and football is important there. I enjoy that. It's basically 3 hours from my lake house. You know, my son's going to be on staff. I've already had him looking at like bottom end guys and things like that. He actually found one yesterday. He was all fired up. It's kind of like, you know, so I had to pass him along to a couple, you know, higher ups and everything, and everybody liked him, and so that kind of got rolling. But it's just like more eyes, right? But anyway, he's on staff, and then my daughter's only an hour away from me, so everybody's kind of close. So that makes it important to me.
That's awesome.
And then the history of the school, you know, when Bill Clark was there, they were really good, and they want to be good. And I got a lot of respect for him and what he's done through his career. And they've hit a bumpy road. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they've hit a bumpy road, but they have money actually, you know, for the program. They have some resources. Facilities are really nice. I mean, I think they're very functional. And you know, now it's about getting guys that want to be here and figuring out how to, you know, put those guys together, because it's we're going to end up probably getting 26 to 30 new guys from the portal. So it kind of goes quick, and you kind of got it. And the way the portal works is you kind of have, you know, when the portal opens, like guys can be in, but you have to get them in to school before like your drop ad date. So everybody's ability to get them in school is different. Meaning if your drop ad date is the 15th of January, well, then you got till the 15th. If it's the 25th, you got to the 25th.
Right.
So, you know, that's another thing that's not a level playing field from that standpoint. And then to top it all off, you know, the illustrious game planners decided to put a coaches convention in the middle. So from January the 12th to the 14th is what they call a dead period. So what that means is nobody can come on campus. So you're in a portal system to really get your players for next year, and you can't do anything for 3 days, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. So that's another example of the calendar not being where it needs to be. Just like you have coaches that are head coaches trying to get players for next year, you know, at Oregon, for example, and they're playing in a championship game this week. So, you know, not the greatest planning, but, you know, we all figure out, we're all problem solvers, right? You got to figure out your problems and deal with them and go on. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but it's kind of chaotic right now.
And now you're part of by far the best G5 league. I mean, you got
Tulane
and North Texas.
If you look at the history, and I can say this now because of John Summerall is a good friend of mine, and I had talked to him about, you know, the whole Tulane situation, and he was at the Sun Belt in Troy, right? And if you look at the history of schools, like for whatever reason, I'm not knocking, but like Sun Belt head coaches really don't advance. Now I know JMU's had their deal, but really, if you think about it, not many guys. But if you look at the at this conference, I mean, there were 3 guys this year that went to the SEC.
That's right.
Okay? And that was one of the reasons that Summerall went to Tulane, is he felt like that his next step would be a greater to achieve from Tulane than Troy. And he was right in that regard. And for whatever reason, administrators, and it's kind of like a cycle thing. For whatever reason, administrators feel like that this conference is get you more ready, prepared for SEC, ACC, bigger programs than the other smaller leagues for whatever reason. And you can just look at the guys that have been hired. Like, for example, this year, there were 3 guys hired from this conference to the SEC. And it'll continue that way because those guys will have success and they'll continue to, the administrators are always going to follow the thing that's hot, whatever's hot, they're going to follow that. So that'll end up being into play.
And it feels like at some point, Coach Mortensen could be on that same trajectory, right?
He's a really smart guy. He's a really smart guy, very intelligent. He had other opportunities at bigger schools. He was actually tied to Brian Dable, because he was actually at Alabama with Brian Dable when he was the offensive coordinator there, who was another one of my GAs at one time, which shows how old I am and everything. But no, he's a really smart guy. He got a great vision, and really he's the one that sold me on it. Just his vision for the program, what he wanted to get done, how he wanted to accomplish it, how he saw it. And then, just the whole Birmingham itself, from a city standpoint. And then when you look at the football in the state of Alabama, within a couple hour radius of their school, there's really good players. So that allows you to kind of get some guys and develop them that are younger that wouldn't cost the same as it's like anything. Like if you go in the portal, you're paying a premium. You know what I'm saying? There's a premium for that guy, right? Because he's in the portal and other guys want him and all that. Whereas if you get a guy that is a little bit younger coming out of high school, maybe you can develop, a handful of those guys to be, core players for you. So, but anyway, he has a great vision, very intelligent, and I look forward to him, working for him.
Do you feel like, Coach, that UAB is the type of place that you can rely more on getting high school kids in and keeping them there long term?
I think that whether you're at this level, SEC, I think at whatever level you are, you have to develop the players because it's not sustainable to be able to go out and just buy, those guys. That's why when you look at, for example, when I look at the Indiana thing, because you always study things that happen, Indiana and the success that Kurt's had there is really a perfect storm. Meaning, so what if you really think about it, it's a numbers thing with Indiana. So when he went there, he took 13 players from JMU. Okay. And those were obviously core guys, solid guys. They were older guys too, meaning they had 1 to 3 years. Okay. Most of them had 2. All right. So just on defense, for example, there's 6 starters from that unit. Okay. Well, Tom Allen was at Indiana and he had done a good job there, but they didn't put the resources in that they are now. But he had recruited well because they had went to a bowl game. They had been so it wasn't like, for example, when I went to Oklahoma State last year, they were 0-9 in the league. Like when Tom Allen was there, they were competitive. Okay. So you got 13 guys coming from JMU. You got 10 to 12 guys that are solid core guys already there. So now you have 23 to 25 guys in your program right now that are considered core guys. Okay. Well, then you're allowed to go out and, buy a quarterback, a couple defensive linemen, you're able to go out and buy the right guys. So the combination of being able to come from a lower level school and bring in 13 guys, 10 to 12 guys already there, and then having the resources to be able to go out and get a quarterback, a couple D linemen, a corner, a wide receiver, you end up with what you had. It's just a numbers thing. It's like the old days, like you had AA, single A, triple A, right? Well, at the end of the day, basically Indiana was able to take JMU's roster and pick the 13 best players, and they were able to pay them a minimum because nobody really knew about them other than, the coaches that are going to Indiana with them. So they take them with them. There's already 10 to 12 guys there. Okay. Well, they're not people like, and this happens to play like if as a coach, if a kid goes in the portal and he's coming from a losing program, sometimes that does affect your thoughts on the guy. Okay, as far as what he's not, whatever. So it's really a perfect storm. So getting back to your point is, I still think you got to develop guys, you got to find guys, even if you get 10 guys. I mean, that's 10 guys that are going to play some snaps for you at a reduced rate, because the whole portal thing is something that eventually is not going to be sustainable. So you need to be on that path. It's just a matter of when, and it's happening now, and and people are successful with it, but like it's eventually going to change, and you just got to be ready for when it changes. But a lot of people will continue to do it the way it is now, and then when that does happen, they'll basically have to adjust. But there's going to be a price to pay for that. You need to grow some guys. You have to grow some guys. If you don't do that, you're not going to, you're going to have success, but you're going to have that one bad year, just like Colorado, Florida State, those kind of things.
How many total guys from the Saban tree are on your new staff? I know yourself and the head coach. How many guys are down there? They have a connection to the.
They'll probably end up being a handful. There's going to be a handful.
That's cool. Cool.
So there'll be a handful when we get it all said and done. So yeah, it's an interesting process. Good place. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, he'll take an active interest in that program too, because that's still his football state, right? I mean,
oh yeah. He'll be coming up wanting to talk ball or something. He's always wanting to talk ball. So yeah, he'll be up. And the other guy that's around, a lot of people don't know about it. A good friend of mine is Kevin Steele. Kevin lives in Alabama. I mean, and he's from this area too. And Kevin and I are really good friends. And we'll have him up too. So we'll have some legends passing through, which is fun in the spring.
What about your defensive philosophy matched up with Coach Morton? People are asking what kind of defense you guys are going to be running in 2000.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to be physical. I mean, you got to be fast, physical, and aggressive. It really all starts up front. I mean, you got to have big people. I mean, I look at big people like lakefront property. There's only so much of it in the country, right? And it's like, my wife can pick out big people. You know what I'm saying? So like, you want guys that when they get off the bus, like, oh yeah, okay. So it obviously starts up front, getting big people to be able to control the game from a front standpoint. And then from there, you've always got to be able to be versatile, meaning you have to have the ability to play 3 down and 4 down. All the teams that are playing now really are multiple. Even the ones like, for example, that Miami say is a 4 down front, they still run some simulators and things like that allow them to create the change of bubble and some stuff like that. But it all starts up front, and then from there, having the ability to play 3 down and 4 down. And then you've got to have guys that can cover outside, because at the end of the day, whether you're playing quarters, cover 3, you're going to have some one-on-one opportunities for the offense. So you've got to be able to match that with some length outside that can handle the bigger receivers. And that's kind of the path we're taking. We're on a good road. I mean, we got a lot of dudes coming in the rest of the week, man. It's going to be pretty chaotic. So anyway, we'll see how that rolls.
Yeah, you had to hit the ground running, haven't you, my friend? Like you get there, boom, boom.
I can tell this story now. Of course, being a little bit older, like New Year's Eve is not that big a deal for us, right? And my wife hired home, and she's wanting to watch the crystal ball, or the Dick Clark ball, right, in New York. Yeah. I got my iPad over there, and it's like 11:45, and I'm like, all right, I can watch this one more player to see if I like him before the ball drops. So anyway, I got my iPad in one hand and my champagne in the other, and I'm looking. I'm like, all right, I got 15 minutes. I gotta make a decision quick, man. You better jump off tape quick, see if I like you. And anyway, we got him done. We got him done before the bell rang, and we got moved on. Then we started on the 26 guys.
Oh, that's awesome. You got your recruit sign still delivered. Yeah. Oh, let's go celebrate. Hey.
That's right. I was like, that ball's going to drop in 15 minutes, man. You better jump off the tape at me. So I got 15 minutes to watch you. So anyway, it all worked out. And she just looked at me and was like, really? And I was like, I got free time. So it all worked out.
Hey, I know you're really good friends with J.C. Price. Everybody's asking, is he going to end up doing something at Tech as an analyst?
I don't really know yet. I talked to J.C. yesterday. I think that's in flux. He's really a good coach. He is a good coach. If you look at Virginia Tech, he's kind of like what we're all about. He's a hard worker. He's a grinder. He's smart. He's done a lot for that program. I mean, obviously the right thing to do from their perspective is to make sure that people like him are taken care of.
Correct.
But that's up to the new administration and what they want to do. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Yes. But obviously, I'll see what's happening with him and stay in touch.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. People have been wanting to know. Well, listen, my friend, I know you got to get ready for your meeting, and I hope you can still come on. I hope we can still.
We're gonna figure it out. I got that was the first thing I put in my contract. We'll figure it out. We're gonna be coming on. Stay a part of the New River Valley and what's going on back that way.
Hey, you can use it as a recruiting advantage. Who knows, right? Well, whatever we can do to help make it work.
Whatever we got to do, man.
Well, congratulations, brother. I'm excited as hell for you, man. And I'm so glad you're able to go somewhere you wanted to go for all the right reasons, man. Everybody's excited.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun. I did notice that, like, damn, there's a lot of young people around here. Like, so anyway, it's all good.
All right. Well, tell Coach we said hey, man, and we'll talk again soon, brother. Congratulations. Go Blazers. Go Blazers.
Right. Go Blazers, bud. Bye-bye.
All right, brother. There you go. Todd Grantham. There you go. Great stuff. That deserves a round of applause right there. That's great. I'm so happy for him. That's just cool. He took us right inside getting a recruit. Let's give him a nice, that's funny here. There we go. That's for Todd. There we go. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Went to a place that he wanted to go to, the Saban connection. I love it. Man, I guess if we ever need to get a final answer on who's the most influential coach of all time, it's Nick Saban, especially in modern times. Look how many guys just continue to pop up that at some point were part of him at whatever stop. Todd, Coach Mortensen, it's great. And he's in a heck of a league, man. You're in the American Conference. It is the premier G5 league. You had 2 teams that finished ranked in the top 25. I think at one point they had 4 teams ranked this year. Navy's in that league. South Florida, Army. I mean, it's a hell of a league. It's really good. Really good. And I'm excited for him. Very excited for him. And, yeah, we'll be pulling like heck for the Blazers. And I guarantee you, he really did do that too. He put in there that he still wants to do the show. This contract. We will be, well, obviously, we have tech and all that, but we will be pulling for UAB. Back to the McClellan Chiropractic chat room here while we await my Burnop. Did I watch Gary Clark? I was really young, but I remember my day. We went to a game. I want to say that Gary was still playing. Yeah, he was number 84. So I do remember Gary Clark being on the field. I was very small, very young, but yeah. I know Gary Clark was the first great player, of course, played for the Redskins all those years. Jacksonville Bulls. He was a JMU Duke. So, but yeah, not really Prometheus. I kind of remember hearing his name being there, Great player, man, obviously. Great player. Is he considered the best player? Wow, that's tough. Certainly the best wide receiver / kick returner. And obviously he made it in the NFL. Jeff King made it in the NFL. We've had NFL guys. Is he the best player? That's a great question. That guy we just talked to was 2-time All-State. I don't know if he was the best player. He developed very well in college and got better and better and better. So he was on a trajectory. And TP, if you're still around, I think Gary only played for Coach Hicks the 1 year, right? That was his senior year. Is that right? I think that's right. That's 79, 80 year. But definitely obviously you look at his pro career. A lot of times we look at how guys turned out once they leave a place, and we think that makes them the best where they were. Now, he was exceptional. But, yeah. Gary's still around. Because so Gary was a year ahead of TLB 82, so he graduated in 81. So he'd have been there. Maybe he played 2 years for Coach. I don't know off the top of my head. TP would know. Tony Powell would know. Yeah, he went into private business, and I haven't heard much from Gary. Yeah, we had him on the show a lot. First run of the radio show. He would come on a lot. Great player. Shane Graham. Best kicker ever, Shane Graham. All those years in the NFL. I guess highlighted by the Bengals. Chris Kinzer got a cup of coffee in the NFL. Mickey Thomas was an exceptional kicker. We've had great kickers through Pulaski County history. There's no question about that. No question. But best player in high school, that's tough. Those early teams for Coach Hicks had some really good players. I played with two. That guy and Jack Turner. Jack Turner, he was in a different realm. Yeah. And they've had really good players since then. Oh, that's cool. TLB's brother still cuts Shane when he is in town. That's cool. Morris, the Bengals. We're going to amp up Morris's segment here on the show, by the way. We got an announcement coming here as soon as I get with Morris about the particulars. Ready, Set, Fund is ready for you. Give Bob Christ a call. He's brother of Dave Christ, former Blacksburg coach, ReadySetFund.com. BobChrist11 at Gmail. They helped Floyd County softball raise $4,000 in 5 days through a text message service that they offer. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. The NRV Super Bowl, 382-5525. They're open late nights on the weekends. They have league nights. They've got boogie bowling. They've got their late night environment. The food is improved. Everything over there is outstanding. They put a lot of money into it, man. You need to check it out. Thanks to them. Thanks to Montgomery County Board. Appreciate them. Nice to be on the Chamber of Commerce. Top Shelf Apparel with Brandon. Thanks to Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated. He could comment. He was a really, really good Cougar player, Travis Williams. Matt Roan Tater. Could get him involved in this conversation. He was a really good player, too. But Professional Door sponsor of our text line, National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST. The attorney Ryan Price, sponsor of our fan question of the week. It looks like it's going to be a runaway. We've gotten, I believe, already 20-some responses between chat and between the text line, and everybody is saying Indiana, Miami will be in the title game. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Thanks to Charles Lee. Give them a call today, 540-553-2971. Don't mess around with your heating and air units. Call the best, Little River Heating and Air. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, Tim Miller. He'll be back on. Jonathan Sweet. They got some more major announcements coming up. Got an email from them. We're excited, and I'm so honored that they are the presenting sponsor of this program. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic. I need to get Mark a T-shirt this week. I got to get Travis his T-shirt this week. Maybe after Wednesday, maybe Thursday I'll do that. And Family Fencing, of course, sponsor of our studios here in Reiner. Give Jason Green a call, 540-200-8294. Wayne, you should call Jason. He'll come down and take care of your fence. Doesn't matter where it is. They're the best at what they do. Let them have your yard ready for the weather that's about to be gone here in a couple months, and we'll get warm again. Yay! Jeff King, yes. Poindexter, no. No. We had some Poindexters come through there, but not the great UVA player, no. Not Anthony. Anthony did not play for Coach Hicks. Laughers live longer. Correct, Morris. My mom had this great thing. I still have it somewhere. It was a picture of a hyena on a little card, and it said, "He who laughs," and it said ... lasts. You know, a little play on the "he who laughs," who laughs last. No, this was "he who laughs lasts." Creed is right here. Let me see. Creed, I don't know if I can turn that. No, I can't turn that. Creed is right here. He is right here, sleeping beside me in my Radford University chair. So he is getting ready, TLB. Can't see him, and I know that stinks, but he's right here sleeping. Yeah, let me show you. Take a picture of him. I could move everything around, but I think I would absolutely destroy it. There you go. That's current Creed right there. Sleeping in my Radford chair. Oh, look at that. A Big Dog Sports Talk t-shirt. If you want one, hit me up. That's him right there. Yep. He's sacked out. He who laughs lasts. Correct. You have to laugh now. You go insane. Yeah, Jefferson Forest for Poindexter. There we go. Jefferson Forest. That makes a lot of sense. Jefferson Forest. That is correct. He was a Jefferson Forest Cavalier, and then he was a Virginia Cavalier. Anthony Poindexter. Now he's on the staff at Tennessee, continuing his coaching career. Waiting for supersize and small t-shirts. Yeah, I know. I gotta reach out to Brandon again. See if I can get, what is it, the big and tall? Because Wayne's like 7'2". And I got to get some smalls. Now the mediums they're not very big. I think if you want a small, I think a medium would work, especially after you wash it a couple times. No doubt, Rodney. King Harvey. We talked, it's interesting. He's come up now twice this week. Kevin Krause, I had the pleasure of calling his games. Kevin Krause is the best running back I've ever seen. Wear those Cougar colors, the burgundy and gold. Yeah. King Harvey went to West Virginia, old number 33. Great player. Great player. Yeah, no doubt, Prometheus. Dennis Haley was, whew. Dennis Haley was a man, wasn't he? Great two-way player. Great running back, but you're right. He was a much better defensive player, and that's where he made it in the NFL. Yeah. Yeah, Dennis Haley was the real deal. 100% TLB. We don't laugh anymore. We're too busy being offended. That's right. Certain groups are anyway. They spend their whole life wanting to be victims and be offended by everything else, trying to make rules for everybody else, even people who don't look like them or have the same background, right? Their arrogance, they're blinded by their arrogance, thinking what they say and how they look at things is the way the worldview needs to be. Correct. 6'2" to 25. And built like a wall. Built like an absolute wall. Yes. Huge. Guy was the real deal. The real deal. Did you really, Wayne? Wayne played against Alonzo Mourning. That's cool. Wow. I didn't realize you played with Alonzo Mourning. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Well, it probably didn't go well for you, so maybe congratulations. It always goes well. We're joined by that man, the veteran. Heck, for many people, he's the face and voice of Virginia Tech, Mike Burnop. What's up, Mike? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Rick. I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing okay, man. Doing okay. Thanks for jumping on. Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah, same to you. Came quick and a little frost on the pumpkin out there this morning. It was so nice being in Florida with that warm weather, and now you come back to this. It's like, ooh. Yeah. At least it's warming up a little bit in the afternoon.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's true. Yeah, you come back. It was kind of a culture shock. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's winter, isn't it?
Yeah, wintertime, chilly, about 30 degrees different. But the days are getting a little longer. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I know nothing's been made official yet, Mike, so I can't ask too many questions, but it looks like everything's progressing well for James Franklin's first portal class, doesn't it? Following up what he did, in the high school. So
yeah, it really does. It looks like it's coming together pretty well. He's got that staff pretty much intact. Rick, he came in on the basketball game against UVA on Saturday, this past Saturday. He, I guess it was 2 Saturdays ago. He came on the air because he was with TV at the under 12 timeout. And then he came on with us at the under 8 timeout. And he said he had one staff member, the main staff, left to fill. And then he was going to attack the portal. And obviously they'd already done some work in that regard. And he gave a lot of great information. I encourage people to go out there and listen. It was posted out there. And the thing had like 40,000 views. He was on with us about 4 minutes. But he gave us a lot of information on that thing. But yeah, back to the portal. He's going to attack it. Looks like he's got a great class coming in. Areas of need, the quarterback, looks like tight end. Got some linemen, of course. And so, yeah, I'm anxious to see when it all finishes up on the 15th, who's signed, sealed, and delivered, and who'll be here for spring practice.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's everything that's going on in college athletics, it's crazy, isn't it? And you've done this a lot longer than, I have, and you've seen all this happen and coming and going. Of course, you played at Tech. And what do you make of all this with the portal? How do you just sit back and watch all this stuff, even though I know it's the way everybody has to do business, but isn't it just – it's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I hope they fix it somehow. I think it's unfair to these teams that are still playing that they sitting there and all this portal's open and they're trying to concentrate on getting a win in the college football playoff. And yet you got the portal that people are stealing players out quick, fast, fast, right and left.
That's right.
Coaches can't coach in the game, and the situation at Ole Miss is a hot mess with that going on down there. Who's coaching, who's not, who's at LSU. I mean, the whole thing needs to be fixed. And I think Nick Saban's the guy that could probably fix it if they would listen to him and make him the czar of college football. I think he could get this thing back on track and maybe have one portal window. If you're going to make it like the NFL, make it like the NFL. Have it a different calendar for the season. And so you won't have these issues with these coaches now that are in limbo and coaches getting fired so quick and all that sort of stuff. Let them finish out the year. Let them finish out with their teams. I think it's unfair for the players a little bit. And it's like looking at Oregon in the playoffs. Those dudes got to travel their fannies off just to get to these playoff games. Yeah. Play the game at home for the first round or something. I mean, if you deserve a bye, if you're that good to get the first 4 byes, play the game at home. I know the bowls are important and all that, but somehow incorporate them in. But this thing now is just a hot mess. It seems like it's just getting worse by the day. And the money that the fans are having to spend to go see these games.
Exactly.
And you got empty seats at the Orange Bowl. I mean, come on, this thing it can't be that hard to fix.
Yeah, and you're right. And I don't know who's even. There's nobody even around to fix it, is there? Like that's why we need somebody to be the czar. We don't have anybody to even. I don't know how anybody can even remotely approach this and try to fix it right now.
I know that's the problem, and I think Saban's got some great ideas, and I think changing that calendar to kind of match up with the NFL might help. I think having a salary cap would certainly help. The money that some of these kids are getting to be a quarterback in college football is ridiculous. It's just the whole thing just needs to be fixed and have some guardrails up because it's just like the Wild West out there.
Mike Burnop joining us on the program. Thanks to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker Team Long and Foster Realtors. Wild West is a great way to say it, Mike. That's a great phrase to use. With all the bowls have been embarrassing. They're empty. There's nobody at these games, and sponsors are going to pull out of these bowls. They're not making money. I know they're showing up in the ratings. I think a lot of that's attributed just to bettors that are watching. Let's just say it the way it is. I think I saw that college football had 40% more activity from gamblers. I mean, the whole thing is just – it's going to fall out at some point, isn't it? It's got to.
You would think so. Yes, you would. And I know the viewership has been pretty good because, around Christmas time, what do? A lot of people are off. They don't have to work. Things are down, and you want to watch a football game. So they'll turn it in, tune it in, and watch it. And, there have been some good games and all. But, yeah, you hate to see all the empty seats and all that sort of stuff. And, again, with these teams that are playing in the football playoff, it's just they're fans. I mean, they're asking them to do an awful lot, spend a lot of money to go here, there, and everywhere, and still maybe 2 more games left, right?
That's right.
It's like, good gracious. You talk about a money pit now.
Well, that's what you said. I was thinking just Signetti over the weekend, and I know they're off to a great start in the portal, but he had to host like 5 guys, and he's like, I need to be sitting down focusing on what's going on with their rematch with Oregon. I need to sit down with my coaches. I don't have time to do this. And I think that's how he said, look, guys, you want to come here? I'm getting ready to prepare for the national semifinals, blah, blah, blah. I got to go.
Yeah. I need to be concentrating on the game plan. I need to be game planning, not roster planning. And, it's just unfortunate that that's the way it is. But for those teams, it's just kind of sad that they have to deal with it when it's like everybody, it's almost like you're penalizing the teams in the playoff because, they need to be concentrating on their rosters or their game management and whatnot. And they got to sit there and worry about who's going to be on my squad after the playoff is over.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
It's like, it's just not a good system. It seemed like at all.
Are you a proponent? People are asking in chat of the bowls moving to the front of the season at some point. Maybe I don't know who you decide who plays in them, but we think that would garner more interest in those games because the playoff has made them for the most part just completely irrelevant.
Yeah, they have, and we talked about that a year ago. I think that's maybe something that the bowls should think about. That maybe you have to do that. I mean, you're playing a lot of these non-conference matchups anyway, neutral sites. Why not just make it a bowl game? I mean, it would be kind of odd, right? You're going to a bowl game, but I mean, the other thing about it is too, Rick, and when we used to go to these bowl games, like when you go to the major bowls, the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, and all those sorts of things, you were down there 5-6 days, you go to a hospital and see the kids, you do some community stuff, you'd go here, there, and everywhere. Now it's like a business trip. You're coming in 1 day before, 2 days before. The players don't get to enjoy it like they used to. They used to have a party with both teams there and all that sort of stuff. I mean, all that seemed like it's gone away now. And I think for the players, they're missing out on some of the bowl experience anyway. So maybe that would be a thing to do. Have it in early in the year. They're playing games overseas now anyway. Looks like UVA is going to do that, but Tech played in Atlanta. Play a game in Charlotte, play some of these neutral sites or some of these bowl sites. Maybe that would be a way to try to fix a little bit of it.
Yeah, I know it. Todd Grantham thinks that should be the case. He says it's gaining momentum in coaching circles, so that could happen. I could see that happening here in a few years. We'll see.
See. Well, let's hope they fix something. I mean, it's just
right. Fix something.
The train is going off the tracks, man. It's like ready to derail.
Can we fix one thing to make us feel good about any of this ever again? Just one thing.
I mean, you got that train going around your Christmas tree, right? And every time you turn around, something's just like it's off the track for some reason. Like, what happened? Did a needle fall off the tree and it derailed the train?
I know, right? Yeah, just one little. Yeah. Oh, the train wrecked again. Oh, darn! Somebody else just made a bad decision in college athletics. Shocker.
Well, the grandkid comes around, look, and he picks up the train, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Throws it off the track. Like, whoa, we got a mess here.
Thanks to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster, Mike Burnop joining us on the program. Happy New Year to Louise. And well, here we are, basketball season, conference play. Tech finally getting healthier. We've been talking about this a while, and boy, they put up a fight against a very good Wake team, still underhanded. After that triple overtime win, I tell you what, you get Mike Young's team in overtime, you're going to lose. That team's good, and they can feel that pressure, man. They're good in OT.
That's like OT is our time, man. And then they've played great in overtime. It's hard to believe. I thought the game of Wake Forest was probably going to go to overtime too. And that kid hit that great shot, the three, Kalmesi or whatever, hit that three with Ben Hammond right on him. He took a step back three and nailed it. And the rest will seem like to be history. They go the other end. Jalen Bedford was trying to make the first free throw and he missed it. So then you automatically got to try to miss the second one. And that didn't pan out. So it was frustrating. But you know, if you could just get one of those guys back, Rick, you think it'd be worth more than 3 points, right?
Right.
And so hopefully they're getting closer. I know when you look at Toby, he was not on crutches anymore. He's not on a scooter. He does have the boot on, but he's getting closer. And I talked to Tyler the other day, and he said, yeah, I'm coming along faster than they think. And so hopefully that'll be the case. And, big old Tony Dorn, he was doing some stretching on the sideline, trying to get his back in shape. And so hopefully they'll get one of those guys back this week, because all of a sudden you look at these two teams that are coming up here next, Stanford and Cal. It's like Stanford goes and beats Louisville, right? Louisville's ranked 16th or something. And Cal had a big win over Notre Dame when Shrewsbury went off at the end of that thing. Did you see the end of that?
Oh, my God. Yeah. He choked some out. Officiating so bad. But, man, if he had made contact, he's done, right? He'd have been fired. Yeah. I'm sure he would have been.
Yeah. He needs to be thanking those assistant coaches, whoever it was that held him back.
Tackled him. Don't.
And that dude's a big dude to tackle now.
Yes,
he like a defensive lineman.
That was an atrocious call, though. That was bad. I get it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It keeps getting worse and worse. It's so bad. It's so bad. Well,
frustrating for sure.
And guys are, like our chat's talking about, these Tech guys are helping their death, but they're playing a lot of minutes, man. And it gets to you, doesn't it? It gets to you. That's a lot.
Well, when you get in foul trouble, and that's what happened the other day. The first half, Gerdak and Hansberry both had 3 fouls, and that limits them to about 10 minutes in the first half. And I don't think they had a field goal till there were 14 minutes left in the first half. So they got off to a bad start. Neo turned the ball over way too much early. I think he ended up with 7 assists, but he had way too many turnovers and just some lazy passes and stuff. And, it'd be a good learning tape for him too, because that was in essence, that was only the second road game they played. They played some neutral sites, but they did go to South Carolina and play on the road and got a win in overtime. And it wasn't a home site for Providence at the Mohegan Sun, but in essence, that was a home game for Providence.
Right.
That goes to overtime. But, it's a good experience, and they'll learn from it and be better for it. But this stretch coming up is probably going to be a little more difficult than they thought.
And people need to, if Lawal does show up at some point here soon, they're going to have to ease him back. That type of injury, man, that you got to make sure that guy's good to go, right? The biggest mistake they can make is saying, okay, go out there, here you go, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. No, he's going to have to come back in very periodically for a while.
They're going to have to monitor his workload for sure and make sure there's no setback. Same way with Tyler, you got to do the same thing when he comes back, because, if you don't have your feet in basketball, you got nothing, man. Yeah. You can play with a sprained shoulder or an elbow or something like that. You might be able to get, but not with a foot, ankle.
100%. Yeah.
That's all on your feet.
All on your feet.
All about the quickness and all about the cutting and all the elevation and rebounding. And that's tough.
Mike Burnop joining us on the program. Of course, Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors, 540-320-0382. As always, Mike, Louise says hello. I know that.
We love Louise. Yeah, she was at the UVA game. I think she sent me a text, but I never got to see her. I don't know if she got there like too late to come down and maybe say hello, but yeah, we appreciate everything she's doing. And I know she's excited about 2026 and housing market and the interest rates. And there are a lot of houses out there right now. Just look at the coaching staff. My goodness.
That's true. Yeah, they'll be in the market.
It's like a swinging gate now. You got guys that are coming and leaving, and you feel bad for them. But I'm happy that some of those guys got jobs. Elijah Brooks got a job down in South Florida, and Brent Davis, I see, got a job. That was good for him, and he's going to Pitt, I think. And then, a couple other ones. Sean Quinn going to Liberty as the defensive coordinator. He was going to stay here as a defensive coach and analyst, I think. And then that came around. The opportunity came, so he left. Texted him the other day. He's excited about the move. And I said, well, they got plenty of resources and unbelievable facilities at Liberty, as you know.
Yeah, they do.
And I think that'll be a good fit for him. And so, happy to see some of these guys get jobs and land on their feet. That's the toughest part of coaching changes is all the support staff and everybody else.
Is it looking like you think JC's going to grab one of those roles, analyst roles?
I texted him too, and he's waiting for the next move. He's got a couple of things working, but nothing has fell in place yet. And, I hope it will sooner or later, and I think he'll be fine. He's a good coach, good recruiter.
Yeah.
So I think he'll land on his feet, just not sure where. And, maybe he's had some offers he didn't want. That could be true too. So you just have to wait and see, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. You're right. Somebody understands the value of that guy. Well, there's no question about it. No question.
Yeah, you cut him open, man. He's going to be orange and maroon blue.
It doesn't matter where he ends up. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, finally, Mike, who do you like coming up in the semifinals as you look at this thing? People seem to say it's going to be Indiana and Miami. What do you think? They're peaking at the right time, or the Canes? To say
yeah, they are. They play great. I mean, gosh, you got to root for them, I guess, for the ACC. So I think that'd be good. And it goes to show you, you're a 10 seed, right? You're coming in there, maybe got a chance to play for the national championship. I mean, I think any four of them could win, but I think Indiana and Miami are the two that got the best shot. I think that mess at Ole Miss is going to eventually catch up with them with some of the stuff outside the lines that's happening, with the coaching and who's in, out, and, the continuity, the consistency and all that, chemistry. I think that'll catch up with them. Miami's playing well. And gosh, who could fall to Indiana? I mean, they just blew Alabama out of the water down there. And I mean, they're just hitting on all cylinders, got the Heisman Trophy quarterback. So I just think that those two, it's going to be those two. But we'll see. I mean, that's why you play the game. But it'll be fun Thursday and Friday night to watch them.
How much do you put stock in? Everybody says about that Indiana game, it's tough to beat a team twice and all this. But, I don't know how much that matters as much as it used to.
I don't either. And, you think about it in basketball, a lot of times teams will beat them twice in the regular season.
Yeah.
And then, maybe three times in the tournament might be a little more difficult.
Sure.
When you get to the tournament. But, I don't know that there's much in that. I think it's a good way to motivate your players and all that sort of stuff. But, no, I don't think if I beat them once, I feel confident that I can beat them twice.
Right.
Yeah.
You play your best. That's what Coach Elmo said. He breaks it down. If Indiana plays their best, they're going to win the game, right? If they just do the things that they do and they don't have mistakes, they're going to win the game because they're the better team. And I guess that's a good way to look at it. So
yeah, St. Elmo would know.
He would know. He knows.
He's been around a while, and I talk to him quite often. He's a hoot now.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Great memory, and he kind of saved Frank Beamer and that staff, man. He came in there, and it was like a train coming in, man. He was like a hurricane.
And it's still blowing pretty loud too.
Yeah. St. Elmo's fire.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah. Good dude.
So when are you guys back on the hardwood? Let peeps know when they can find the Hokies again here.
Yeah, we're back at home this week. We got a game tomorrow night, 7:00 against Stanford. And then Saturday we got Cal at 4:00. They're back on their East Coast trip this week after both of them are on the West Coast last week. Playing Louisville, Notre Dame, they had that swing, and now it's Stanford and Cal's turn to come east. So we got both of them, and then we'll hit the road next Wednesday for SMU. First time I've been down there, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we come back and play Notre Dame. So, it's got 2 weeks coming up here with some home and away games. Should be fun, exciting, and I am looking forward to going to SMU. I've never been to their campus or anything, so and they're playing well.
They are. They're good. And the money's going to blow. You wait till you see that place. Woo!
No. I bet. And good for them winning their bowl game too. How about the ACC with like 8-4 bowls?
They're playing great, man. I mean, regardless of how you look at these bowls, I'm happy for the league because they get ridiculed so much, and it's nice to see them. Even UVA, the way they came back, beat an SEC team, they blew the championship game, but that's a nice win for them. It is good to see the league playing well. It is.
Yeah, Duke wins the Sun Bowl. I mean, they had some nice things. It was like that one day. It was like Black whatever day it was.
Yeah,
they lost 3 bowl games or something.
Right.
Out of the 4 in one day or something. UVA won the nightcap. So yeah, that was good. Should be fun moving forward. And of course, those teams that you saw there, you'll never see that team again.
Yeah,
they'll be playing for other people in other places, and
that's right.
The names will change. That's the way football is now.
Well, that's what I'm trying to remind Tech fan about. It's great, whatever class we gets announced, but half of them won't be here next year at least. So get used to the new class coming. That's just the way it's going to be going forward everywhere right now.
I will say this, Coach Franklin. I asked him. I said, "Are you a spring game kind of guy?" And he said, "Yes, I am, and we're going to sell out Lane Stadium." He said, "We're going to start promoting it right away. We're going to have 65,000 people in Lane Stadium for the spring game." He said, "It's important because it's important for our players to be in front of fans and have a dry run. It's important for the coaches to be out there and have the same thing in front of fans and not go into your first game with no fans and like sitting there and just all of a sudden you're in shell shock." So I thought that was interesting for him to say that, and I know he's excited. Once he gets all this done, he said, we got a lot of work to do, but he said, it's going to be fun to get them on the field and see what we got and then get ready and have a good spring game and get them ready for the off season. So winter workouts are going to be key when these kids come back here in the next week or two. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun to see them get developed and get after it.
Well, and you've said that for as long as we've been talking, Mike, how important to get those guys on campus as early as possible to get them start getting them going in the program. So,
no doubt about it.
January guys are huge, aren't they? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's you can't say enough about that. Have them here for spring practice and go through the system and learn it. And it's tough when you come in July or August and expect to be a contributor unless you're pretty far away from the ball, like a wide receiver. You can get by with that.
Right.
But those linemen and all that, you can't do that. No.
Can't do it.
Quarterbacks, skill people, it's tough, yeah.
Well, listen, great stuff as always, my friend. I hope you and Zach have a great call for the Cardinal singular coming to town.
Yeah, who do you guys got this week?
We got Presbyterian, who won their conference opener, and then we've got Asheville, who's always a tough game for us on Saturday. So we're home as well this week, so it's kind of nice not to have to travel this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Well, good luck, and we'll talk to you next week. And thanks to Louise, and look forward to seeing her soon. And rock and roll home buying.
Rock and roll home buying, baby. All right. Take care, Michael. Appreciate you.
Nice to see you, Rick.
Good stuff. Mike Burnop joining us. Thanks to Louise Baker team, Long and Foster, for making Mike's appearance possible here on the pro. If I was a cheerleader for BDST right now, I'd yell, hit that like button, hit that like button. Yeah, we need to get subscribers and likes. Share the link. If you have friends you work with that like sports, just tell them to subscribe. We don't bother them. It won't bother them at all. It doesn't cost a dime. Most of them probably have YouTube accounts anyway. Let's start the trek for 1,000 before YouTube starts jumping my ass. And that's going to happen sooner than later. We got to get up to 1,000. And we'll see how that goes. So hopefully as many people that respond to everything I post on the show Facebook page, we could just get like a quarter of those people to transfer over to subscribe, we would be in like Flint, as they say. But good info there. So J.C. Price is not part of the staff. And boy, I don't know, but just reading between the lines, talking to Todd and then talking to Mike, it feels like he may not be part of it. So that's why I wanted to wait. Somebody was saying it was reported somewhere, and that's why you got to watch out, man. Nowadays, people are so irresponsible with their information. They will hit anything to put out there. They hear like any kind of rumor just to get clicks. And I thought I would have heard about JC from people that I know, and probably from him, to be honest. But it sounds like there's some hoops that have to be jumped through there. I hope, as Todd said it very elegantly, that the new regime over there understands the value of that guy. There's certain guys, man. It's not every guy that has association with your program that you say you should keep. But J.C. Price is a different cat. That's a guy who's kind of heart and soul. Mike just said it. Doesn't matter where he ends up. He's always going to bleed orange and maroon. But sounds like to me he's got another opportunity or two outside of Tech. And I think that would be a big loss if that doesn't get done. And I think that would send a very negative vibe. So we'll see. We'll see. Wayne, no, Wayne says that I will be selling a BDST sexy calendar next year. Rick, okay, yeah, that's okay, yeah. The sexy calendar, me just wearing alternate, like, unnecessary uniforms. Well, there may not be a 2027 if we don't get to 1,000. So we got to get to 1,000 subscribers. I just say that because, you know, the 3-year window is automatically hit when you get 1,000. So you can kind of take a deep breath. So we need to get there. We have a lot of visitors all the time. I know that I did request, you've probably noticed, fewer bots. The last couple of weeks, we were getting a lot of bots, which is fine with the 2 streams. And I know a lot of people have access to the channel. But, yeah, we got to get the subscriber numbers up a little bit. It's not that many. It's just a little over 200. Then we'll be there. You would think we could do that. So let's work on that together as a fam here on the show. Or Rick sampling the entire Panera. It could be the calendar of irony. Yeah, I'm sitting there eating a Panera sandwich in a black Tech uniform. Yeah, it's true. Have me dipping the sandwich. It's, you know, rock hard. I should be wearing a welder's mask or something. Dipping it in the soup while wearing an unnecessary black Virginia Tech football jersey. Thanks to Morris. We're going to have to do some cool stuff coming up with Morris, so we're looking forward to that. And thanks to everybody. Good stuff today, man. We were loaded today. Marva, Brian Seigla, Todd Grantham down in Birmingham, getting ready for a coaches meeting. How great was that? Following his journey to Birmingham. That was cool, man. What a great story. He's sitting there waiting for the clock to turn. They evaluated a kid, called him up. You want to come be a Blazer? Yep, got him. And then Mike Burnop, who's always great. Playing some Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam in the background. Yeah, Pearl Jam or Dave Matthews. Oh, my God. Wow. There are people who will listen to Dave Matthews and think they're listening to good music. I'm still bewildered by that, but that's true. What is a TOT sponsorship? Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Happy New Year, brother. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Can get 1,000 subs real quick if you get a TOT sponsorship. All the Virginia Tech students will be all over the show. Yeah. You can help us, Brandon. You can spread the word. Show them how easy it is. On top of the stairs? Top of the Stairs used to sponsor the show back, first run of the show, back on radio. Yeah. That'd be great. We'd love to have Top of the Stairs. Yeah, they were great. We did the show over there live. Yeah. I don't know if it's under the same ownership, though. But, yeah, Top of the Stairs, they had a sponsorship on the show, and we'd go over there once a week and do the show live. So that'd be great. Tell them we said, hey, if you go to Top of the Stairs, tell them we'd like to talk to them. They could be our hub for our NCAA March Madness. How cool would that be? Because Tech's going to be part of that. It'd be great. We could work it out. Yeah, we could do the show there. We could do I finally figured out this whole portable thing. I wouldn't move this. It would look different, but we could still do it. Morris slamming drinks in the background. All right, good stuff, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow on the Hump Day Wednesday edition. Look for more portal comings and goings throughout the day. And thanks for everybody again for stopping by. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Let's get those numbers up, and tell your friends, tell your neighbors, show them how, tell them it's easy. And hit me up if you want a t-shirt, and we will see you tomorrow.